Over the course of the last couple of months, when it comes to Namor the Submariner and his inclusion in the MCU and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it's become quite apparent that major changes are being made to the Submariner. Now, let's talk about one of the major changes that impacts everything, and that's Namor's connection to an ancient god and the impact this has on the MCU. The official trailer to Black Panther Wakanda Forever had a pretty important line that was mentioned by the character of M'Baku, who brings up the fact that Namor is called Kukulkan. Now this is very important because this isn't just a thing that's been made up by the MCU or Marvel. It has its roots in history, which is very important here, and why it makes Namor such an important character. Now, what else is important is if you look at the headpiece that Namor wears in the film, it's a direct match to Quetzalcoatl. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Again, these names are almost impossible for foreigners like me, whose this would be the third language trying to read it is near impossible, because I'm not the smartest dude around. Anyways, though, tying all the way back around to Kukulkan, if we look at the depictions of him, you're going to notice the wings right here that are very prominent. Again, also connecting to the headpiece and everything and what they're pulling on. What really makes this stick out and why Namor is seen as a god and somebody that they look up to and literally see him as a god is because of his wings on his ankles. They see Namor's birth as a sign of the gods and that he is a version of the deity. So again, they're tying this into real life lore, gods, mythology, whatever you want to call it these days and whatever they're going to call it in the film. So this is really important because, again, now we see how they're taking a different approach to Namor, but also how they're tying it into Black Panther. Because if you look at Black Panther, we see the Panther God, and we see how they position the Wakandan afterlife with all the spirits of the former Black Panthers. So this really works to a certain degree to kind of mirror that over with the Aztecs. And more importantly, this also ties into the whole mutant thing, because if you remember, somebody that rose to prominence as a mutant, because he was a mutant and they saw him as a god, was the character of Apocalypse. So in my opinion, making all these changes, doing this makes Namor a little bit more unique and different from his counterpart in Marvel Comics. And I think that's really important because this again positions him differently in terms of how the people see him, why they back all his decisions, and what he's going to be represented like in the bigger scheme of the entire MCU plan going forward.